president's statement in State House today is misadvised. I may be wrong on this, but I wish I'm right. On one hand, the president believes that the institutions of governance are the ones that are supposed to do the work and to actually execute the mandate on behalf of the people. But I think what William Ruto must also understand is the 2010 constitution that he viciously opposed created a hybrid system in governance where we have a representation, elective representation, and that is why we go to the polls every 5 years to elect the 6 cadres, the president all the way to the MCA. They're supposed to represent the people. But the drafters of 2010 also envisioned a situation where even the representatives might not be able to help this society. And that is why it is very clear that they created the Article 37. Article 37 is empowering the people to directly exercise their power. And that is why it is the Article 37 that people have invoked to go to the street. It is the right to picket, demonstrate, and send their petition. So what's happening now? It's about people exercising their direct power. So why am I saying that William Ruto's speech was misadvised? I would expect that at this critical time, he will come up and acknowledge the fact that what is happening in the street now is part of our democracy. But I was shocked. Believe me, you. The president is saying, let those who want to protest, protest. We will do, and Parliament has done its part, executive on this. And they seem to be insinuating that it doesn't matter even if you protest. I may want you to listen to that speech in State House.
I will make sure that as a democratic country, all institutions work for the people of Kenya. It is the way we are going to take Kenya into the future. And there is no conflict. Every arm of government is doing their assignment, is carrying out their mandate. And I will make sure that as president, I respect institutions so that we can make the right decisions and centralize the place of the people of Kenya. And civil society is free to do what they want to do. We are a democratic country. We have no problem. Those who want to demonstrate, they can demonstrate. It is their right. No problem. But the decisions have to be made by institutions. We will make decisions as the executive. We will take it to the legislature. People of Kenya will speak to it through public participation. Others will go and subject it to court processes. That is how a democracy works. And I am a great believer in a democracy. And I will make sure that Kenya continues to be a robust democracy where people speak their mind and we all assist in taking the country where we all want it to be. Even as we transit the country from, the quicksand of debt to the solid foundation of taxes and domestically mobilized resources. We have to do it in a manner that our institutions of governance play a part and are part of it. We make proposals as the executive. The legislature interrogates those proposals. They also, because it's a requirement of the Constitution, they take it for public participation. The people of Kenya inform, because the decision we make as government or as the executive are not final, because the people of Kenya ultimately must speak to every program, every tax that we raise, every policy that we put in place. The people of Kenya must speak to it so that it gives it legitimacy. So the executive have done their part. We have proposed where we think the country should go. The legislators have interrogated it. They have subjected it to public participation. Yesterday, we sat here and we went through what the people have said, and we said, what the people have said on this, we move forward. Where the people have said we delay, we have delayed. Where the people have said, let us not go this direction, we did that because we are a democracy. Now Parliament will go and do their thing and make sure that we move it into the future. And if there are any issues, we have a judiciary that also helps us to make sure that they interpret situations appropriately. We are here because we want to consolidate and solidify the place of a democratic nation. Because the people of Kenya have told us they want a country run by Kenyans. They have the final say, not the deep state, not the system. They have told us they don't want politics of tribalism.
I say and I repeat, that is a misadvised position. Why? The people in the streets are also Kenyans. Now, these are the people that voted on August 2022. So what the ideal speech I would have expected from the president now is to first come out and acknowledge that, guys, Kenyans, I have heard your voice. What you have expressed to us, we have heard your voice. So we are doing our level best through the different structures so that we can listen and have your input. Remember, no one in the street there is carrying a finance bill. No one can effect any change in finance bill. What they are doing, they are sending a message to the representatives that whatever has been passed, that bill came from Treasury, true, then Parliament, Cabinet, and everyone. So, and why are the public invoking this Article 37 is because, and I think we need to explain this. It is being invoked because there is an understanding that those who are elected are not doing their part. And that is why you can even see the messaging around the protest is Occupy Parliament. Why Parliament? Because the members of public know that it is in Parliament that this document is supposed to be passed. So I found William Ruto messaging a bit too provocative. At a time I would have expected him to go for a ceasefire message. If I would be an advisor, someone once told me that if for you to be an advisor, my very good friend Mohammed tells me that for you to be an advisor in national politics, you must be emotionless. You must be rational. And then you must be guided by intelligence. You cannot come and at this time tell, people are saying we are going to protest tomorrow. And you're telling them you can just protest. And keenly, he is talking about civil society organizations. There is a fallacy and there is a narrative being peddled here that it is civil society organization in the street. Forget about it. The people, those who are in the streets are the people. The young people that were in the street, if you ask them, tell me any civil society here, they don't know. So I think we need to be very careful. But where I'm paying a close attention to this is the top leadership in Kenya Kwanza are pursuing that angle of demonizing protesters. Believe me, yesterday, the video of how police officer, a tear gas canister exploded in the hands or police officer, and shockingly, we've also understood that even the essentials were affected, by the way. Even his essentials were affected. This video is all over in social media. The officer was actually tear gassing people. But then Alfred Mutua is saying that it is members of the public that have disabled that officer. Of course, you know, maybe you need to get this.
Embakasi Police Station, Mildred Amoit Elisha is very serious in hospital right now with chest problems because of being injured in the demonstrations. I'm telling you, really, are these demonstrations, all these fighting with the police, are they worth it, really, when you talk about the finance bill? I mean, Tanzania has a finance bill, Uganda has finance bill, South Africa has finance bill, France, they have finance bills, all the countries of the world have their own versions of finance bills. Do people go there and say, Ishe? Do they insult people? Do they break up and cut off the arms of police officers? Polisi ni watu pia. Police officers are people. They're human beings. They feel the pain. They feel the sorrow. They are working. Weko kazini. At times here we talk to the police officers as if they're not important. They are people. Unatukana polisi na usiku kivamiwa, mtu wa kwanza ni kupigia polisi akuja kuokoa ukiwa chini ya kitanda. Unataka yeye ndio apigwe risasi. So as a country, really, we have to question how we are processing our information and how we are moving forward. You know, this government of William Ruto is a peaceful government. Sisi ni watu wa Mungu. We don't want to hurt Kenyans. We are trying to do the best for this country. So all this propaganda, all this activism, my young people, my beautiful young people, my handsome young men in this country being propelled with propaganda, look at the facts and don't get caught up in activism and in violence that leads to bloodshed. Huyo askari amepoteza mikono, hiyo damu yake imemwagika, is on you, who are demonstrating and causing violence. It is your right to demonstrate, but the violence is not allowed.
If you listen to such kind of messages, you wonder which country are we exactly? And you cannot say, and it is not odd in order to say, that we are obeying the Constitution, that our democracy is working. But when members of the public show their resentment, you send the police to arrest, maim, and harass and threaten. Then if Ruto believes that what the members of the public are doing is also true and is also fine, then he should just keep his police. I don't know what's your take on Alfred Mutua. That statement, without bias, it makes me sick. It's sometimes if you hear you want to be collected, then you find out you hear what some people are saying. It doesn't just make sense. The climb down was a sense of toning down. And I kept on telling you, I said, I think this channel will be the most consistent and having exclusive coverage of this finance bill from yesterday. You will concur with me that William Ruto did not like the concessions that were made. He was not for the concessions. But were it not for the pressure that the public was piling since the weekend, those concessions would have not been made. Even as at yesterday, the president was asking MPs, can you help me deal with tax refunds? There are so many people, there are 400 billion being spent on tax refund. Allow me to replay that video, just that part.
However, let me ask this gathering. I want members to listen to me very carefully. I also want you to help me manage one thing: tax expenditure. Let me explain why. Tax expenditure is the money we pay out after we have collected taxes. We pay out as VAT returns, VAT reimbursements. You know, do you know how much money we are paying? 400 billion. That's the amount of money we are paying. So 400 billion, after we have collected the money, we pay to some companies. Siyo company huyu anaproduce nini, anakuja anatengeneza returns hapo, anatengeneza, analipwa. Huyo mwingine anakuja hapo, anatengeneza, analipwa. Huyo mwingine. Sasa, surely, 400 billion.
And just like people are paying taxes, and some politicians are, if tax refunds is part of our tax expenditure, then what's wrong with it? If anything, why don't you just subsidize for us the price of bread? Because in the hospitals, there are no drugs. In schools, there are no books. The counties are struggling. The university capitation has gone down. So if you are crying that tax refunds are eating into our collections we are making, then don't you also realize that even on health, 2.57% of our income, taxable income, is going to be, gross income is going to be deducted. So honestly, I think we are also unfair to the voters, because if tax refunds is where part of where our money goes to, I am one person that I even believe that politicians should not say we want to build roads. Instead of selling us we want to build roads, just leave those roads and subsidize and make sure the drugs are in the hospital. Just do one thing. Okay, there is no any other system that is working. Just try this. Try the hospitals to have medicine. After you too, imetosha. People will be, I think people will appreciate. Now let me tell you something interesting. If I want to tell you that Ruto's messaging is a big problem, and even himself is finding himself in trouble. He flew to Kericho to attend an event. Hey? And some crowd was mobilized. And while speaking to that crowd, the State House guys cut short the video almost after 1.5 minutes going live only. Ruto went live for 1.5 minutes. And why? I'll show you. Okay, first listen to this message. I checked the comment section, and I can tell you the reason why that video had to be cut is because of what people are saying in the comment section.
Vijana wengi wamemaliza shule, wako na certificate, diploma, degree, lakini kazi hakuna. Si ni kweli? Ndio sababu tumeweka program ya housing itupatie ajira. Tumeweka program ya digital jobs itupatie ajira. Tumeweka program ya export of labor itupatie ajira. Nyinyi vijana mtajipanga ndio tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba kila mmoja wetu anapata riziki na anapata mapato. Tumekubaliana? Na ndio sababu hiyo nimekuja hapa. Mimi nitarudi hapa Kericho kupanga mambo yenu ya maendeleo. Leo haikukuwa siku ya mambo ya Kericho peke yake. Hii mpango tula launch hapa ni ya Kenya mzima. Na kwa sababu ni ya Kenya mzima, tutaongea mambo ya Kenya mzima leo. Lakini nimekubaliana na gavana wenu na wabunge hawa na senator na kila mtu ya kwamba next time mimi nitakuja hapa nipange mambo ya Kericho vizuri. Si ndio? Mambo ya maji, mambo ya hospitali, mambo ya city yetu ya Kericho hapa nilisema ya kwamba tuwapatia ardhi na mambo yale mengine na hasa ajira ya vijana. Tumekubaliana Kericho? Hapa niko na gavana wetu, mpigeni makofi bwana Mutai.
And I can challenge you, go to the Facebook page and get the 1 minute, the video I've just played for you. Get that video and look at the comment section. Let me sample some of what people are saying there, because that video was live. This is Jackson Mutua. Housing can't solve youth problem. There is housing demand and supply side. Look for jobs for the youth. Village is a movement whose time has come. Someone is saying, you have failed miserably to listen to the cries of Kenyans. You have no empathy as a leader, and that is why you won't get a second term that easily bwana hii Kenya pana yako Ruto. Now, is this what you are telling Kenyans, that you have a plan? Someone is saying. Julius Lagat, the courage you have in peddling lies is on another level. I can't trust you on anything. When you talk, I get irritated for now, for I know it's just another lie. Reduce your uncontrolled appetite tax without plan, Mr. President, kindly. Elvis Koech. These are most Mukora 2024-2025 financial only considers teachers for employment. Where will all lot go? If I was you, I could prefer to be in silence for 2 weeks, gain weight and recover well. Otherwise, we'll go one term. You started deducting housing levy last, and we haven't seen even one affordable house you have completed, and now you are here imposing more taxes on us. Mr. President, tuonyeshe what you have done with the last year's finance bill. The government is stable. No president will solve your issues, as someone is saying there, as you are sleeping. Even Jomo once said, hard work, money for developing this country must come from our pockets. That's Noah Talam, someone say. Where are all those projects? Hey, we are just assuming some are being done in the moon. I hate people clapping for nonsense. I feel sorry for whoever is listening to Zakayo. This guy lies and he never stops. So I can tell you, I think they looked at that comment section, the way Kenyans were talking, and they realized they rather just pull down those videos because the things are not working in his favor, and what the president is saying really does not augur well with the people. We need to be very truthful. Sometimes, and in Parliament, if you just want to know we are in some mess, in Parliament there is an MP that was putting up a point on these concessions that were made, whether they are really ideal concessions or they're just political bits for climb down. Let's look at a clash where Babu Owino nearly actually clashed with Kagombe on what exactly is the meaning of a fool.
For imagining that if you remove the tax or if you remove the sanitary towels that are locally manufactured, then you have cured the problem. Is lying. I've talked to my own daughters in the house. They tell me the sanitary towels they use are all imported. So in other words, when you see the young girls going to the streets and asking us whether wasinyeshe, they mean it. Because you are making their life unbearable. Mr. Speaker, I want to pick on an issue here. And this issue is based on Schedule 4. If you look at all the taxes under Schedule 4, on telephone, on all those things there, they are meant to help improve businesses. Now, if we are levying taxes on them, and already the business community is underperforming, how do we intend to raise money? If this country cannot mobilize savings, then we rather shut up and close it. I'm asking the drafters of this bill, and Chairman, with due respect, if you wanted to help us as a country with all those changes you made, they were fundamental. Then the bill loses its original form. Then you should have withdrawn the bill and given us another bill. Mr. Speaker, I oppose.
Relevant to the bill that we're discussing here. What he's doing is taking an opportunity to use this floor to beat drums of war in this country. We are at a very bad moment at the moment, at this time, and we cannot allow that to happen on this floor, on the floor of this House, Mr. Speaker.
Go on.
Mr. Speaker, you know I don't like responding to fools.
Order.
The Bible says in the
Can
book
you
of,
withdraw that?
It's
there
in
are
the
no
book,
fools in this house.
In the book of Proverbs 26, the Bible says, Mr. Speaker, that never respond to a fool
seat.
because the...
Order, Babu Owino. Order, Babu Owino. In this house, order members, whether a member represents fishermen from the shores of the lake or the sea, whether a member represents herdsmen, whether a member is a professor, you are all honorable members of this house. And there are no fools in this house. And I want to warn you, Babu Wino, respect begets respect. Respect your colleagues, they will respect you. There are no fools here. Can you withdraw and apologize?
Mr. Speaker, a fool is somebody who does not understand something.
Order. Babu
If I
Wino.
think that somebody is a fool, why should...
Order, Babu Wino. You withdraw and apologize, or I truncate the mic and give the floor to somebody else. Give him the mic. Yes, Babu.
I withdraw.
And apologize.
I don't apologize, Mr. Speaker.
Withdraw and apologize.
You can give the mic to somebody else, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
And I don't withdraw.
Okay, truncate the mic. Mutunga. Yes, Chonga. Give the mic to Chonga.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
This confrontation messaging by the president is not the right thing. We don't have the monopoly of deciding what the president is supposed to say in public, but I think we will also acknowledge that the president is one of the most speaking politicians in this country as we speak. He is one of the ones that will always speak, even when it's not right time to speak. I believe if you must go confrontational, then just keep off this discourse about finance bill. Let MPs, they have come to, they were in State House, you made your way, you've talked in the back room, the MPs are doing their part, so just keep off. Because why I'm saying that he should just keep off is because the protest is becoming more hostile, and we need a ceasefire. We need a ceasefire. So if you can't speak to people, if you can't speak to once we're going to say don't argue with the public. But the argument back and forth is more annoying. I normally look comment section in some of our videos here, and I look how people react. People are a bit annoyed. So Mr. President, I think those who are advising can advise to tone down or keep off if you can't. The majority are in the streets. So if you think you are profiling civil society groups and you can't say Kenyans, you're getting it wrong. Those who are on the streets, those civil society can just be grease. But the movement is in the people's mind. It is in the social media where civil society cannot control what is being tweeted and what people are posting in TikTok. It's not even the YouTube generation. It's actually the Twitter and the TikTok guys that that's where the mobilization is going on. And you need to give it. Look at how also the local media have covered it. Even the local media have been covering these protests in quite a manner that you can't rub them off. I think we need just to be truthful and be able to say the right thing, because otherwise we're taking this country the wrong way. Thank you.